So introduce yourself to the world, who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Okay. So pretty much I'm Tyrell Hundley. I'm 23 years old and I'm from Joliet. I own a sneaker business. Me and my best friend, we started when we were like 14. Former Marine, and that's pretty much me in like a nutshell. Dogs are hot right now, so me and my best friend, we were in my mom's living room, and we were sitting down like, man, we should create like a sneaker group where like we can buy, sell, and trade shoes because it's not one that's near us. We decided to, name it Joliet Creamers. We're from Joliet, and then like the whole acronym, the cream, kicks rule everything around me. That's where it comes from. And then we started the ERS we put on there, and it sounded a little cooler. And then after that, we just took off. It was a pair of shoes that I really wanted, and I remember going back home like, Mom, like, there's a pair of shoes, there's $40, and I want it. And she's like, no, you don't need no more shoes. I'm like, man, I gotta get these shoes. And I'm like, okay, let me figure out a way to do it. So I had like that always like the entrepreneurial, that mindset. We would always shovel snow, sell candy bars door to door. But I sold my mom's lawnmower. I put it on the corner of the street with a chain. I had a little prepaid phone, and pretty much I put my number in. I put like, I think it was, I don't know. I was like $65, and I put my phone number on there. And I'm like, okay, John, like, look, man, if somebody buys this, we're gonna go get these shoes. So I waited. I got this phone call from this like older lady, and she's like, hey, you got this lawnmower on the pole up here on the street. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming. I'm a little kid, run up the street. And I talked to her, and she's like, okay, I started up for her. Everything went well. So I sold the lawnmower. I sold the lawnmower for $65. I came back home, and I was telling John, look, dude, we better go get these shoes. So we take the Pace Bus up to Plato's Closet to get these shoes. And then I'm like, man, I got the shoes. My mom got a lawnmower. She's gonna kill me. So I was like, before I can tell my mom that I got this, these shoes and I don't have her lawnmower, I need to find whatever place is. So John's like, bro, we just made a sneaker group. There's about 1,200 people in the group already. Like, we can make this happen. So we put it on the sneaker group, and we put like the size, the price. And next thing I know, someone's messaging me like, hey man, you still got these shoes? 'Cause I put it for $160. So I'm like, okay, if this dude bought this shoe for $160, I can buy my mom another lawnmower, and I'll still have money left over so I can do it again. And that's where we went up there and met him at the police station, rode my bike over there. He gave me the money, and I'm like, boom, like it was like a start of something. And it's funny because like I'm really big on like everything happens for a reason and stuff like that. So I was sitting there and I'm like, man, like the way it happened, the way the idea came out, and it's like, boom, it happened. So from there, that's pretty much the start of it. That's exactly how we started. People always say, man, you guys are gonna have, a store one day. And I'm sitting there like, dude, no, we're not. Like, as a kid, yeah, that's like the goal. Like, you wanna create something like that, but I was being like realistic. Like, come on, we're 15. I know for a fact I wanna go to the Marines. Like, that was the only thing I knew I really wanted was the Marines. And I was in school, we were freshmen, and teachers and students was wearing our stuff. And I'm like, we got these people wearing our shirts. I'm like, this is crazy. So like they see something in it, and that made me and John like really like push it. So after that, we're like, okay. So but I knew I was going to the military, so it's like it's either we're gonna keep doing it or we're not gonna be able to do it. So I went to the military right after high school, and I connected with so many people, other countries, other states, and that just like blew it up. And then it's funny because I always say, I pretty much like manifest a lot of stuff. I speak it into existence. So I remember it was last year, I was on deployment, I was in Norway, and the guys, they knew I was getting out of the military, and they were like, hey man, what are you about to do? I was like, I'm going home. I'm about to open a sneaker store in the heart of my city, and that's downtown. And as a kid, I was like, John will always say, man, if we did open a store, where would we do it? And I was like, I want the store to be in the heart of the city. Just because we're from Joliet, we want to give back to Joliet. So yeah, I was on deployment. I'm telling all these people, yeah, I'm about to open a sneaker store in Joliet. And in my head, I know for a fact, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know where I'm gonna do it. Like, and my grandma, this was her beauty salon for like 35 years. So it was like COVID happened, and then she ended up closing it down. And then I was like, okay, so like that's like God saying like, hey man, like you need to figure something out. So I remember April, I flew home for 2 days just specifically to talk to her. I wanted her like in person because I wanted her to know I was serious about it. Like it was something that I've been doing for so long, and I knew that having a storefront is like that's what needed to happen. So I came home, I looked at this place, and this place is completely different. Like we all remodel it, and we were just here 18 hours a day, just replacing the floor, building the wall, painting. Like I have blueprints like from when I was like 16, 17 of exactly how I wanted the store. So I knew every little detail that I wanted and how I wanted it to happen. Like I knew this color floor, and I knew the wall, the color of the wall. And I'm a fan of barn doors, so I was like, dude, we gotta have a barn door. It's cool, it's different. And then he was like, okay, let's do it. And we came here, and we just like made it happen. Get it? People say it a lot, like, oh man, you're so lucky. And I sit there and I smile a little bit, but deep down I know, like, dude, this isn't luck. Like, I was down in 18-hour days. Like, while you guys are, hanging out, going to, I don't know, go party, whatever like that, like, I'm here making shirts. Everything, all our shirts we make ourselves. So everything we do ourselves, because to me, it means so much more. Like, us doing the floor and stuff like that, like, yeah, I could hire somebody to do this and the wall and everything else, and remodel, take all these loans out, but we didn't. We took it upon ourselves to do everything. So it just means more to me. There was times where like I would legit cry. Like, people don't even know about that. Like I would legit cry, and I sit there and I think to myself, like, this place, it was just giving me headaches and headaches, and I was sitting there like, man, like, is it worth it? And I was like, man, nah. Like I was like, John, maybe we shouldn't do this, man. Like, I guess we can just be normal and just work just a 9 to 5, I guess. But then I was like, no, it can't happen, because the way it felt, like, like the step by step, it all aligned, if that makes sense. Like from her closing the shop to me getting out of the military and quickly transitioning right into this, it was no thought. It was either, because a lot of people regret it, and I didn't want to be that type where it's like, okay, like if I don't do it, I was always like regretting it, like, oh, what if I would have did it? But instead, like if I do this and I fail, at least I did it, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just turned 23, and like this is crazy. People come here all the time and be like, man, Joliet needed this, and we're the first ones to have a sneaker store like this, and it feels good. Like I love going back to the high schools or like the elementary, seeing the teachers, and like I knew, and they tell me all the time, they knew that I was gonna be something, but it's like, I don't know, 13 years old, I knew what I wanted to do. At the end of the day, it was just nothing could deter me from that. So I went to the Marines, and that was, I wanted to be the Marines. They say, the best. I wanted to be a part of that, less than 1%, the best. And when I got in, it was just more of like a brotherhood. I wanted that, and I played basketball with the military when I first got in, traveled a little bit for different deployments. So it was nice. I seen some stuff that still kind of bothers me today, but I met a lot of great people, and I wouldn't change that experience for anything in the world. It's different because like people who aren't in the military can't like really relate to it, but being a Marine is just it's something that you can never be taken away from you. So you just have that title forever. Like it's crazy. Like I have this Marine shirt, I have this Marine hat, and I go out to like, I don't know, to like a bar, or I go out to a restaurant and they see that and they're just like, Semper Fi. And it's just like a Marine thing, like only a Marine know like what it is. So it's just, it feels good. It feels really good. And that experience, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. College is good, but I don't think college is for like entrepreneurs, if that makes sense. And I say that because there's a lot of professors that teach business classes and stuff like that, but most of them never owned a business. So how can you teach me about business when you have no experience in business. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, well it's a degree, but what about experience? You can go to college 4 years, but then they're gonna ask, what experience do you have? Me going to the military, my resume from that is crazy because of the things I've experienced, while I was in there. So I was never against college. I just knew that college wasn't for me. The thing is, you gotta have a plan. And I'm always about plan. My mom was like, hey man, if you're not gonna go to college and you wanna go to the military, that's a plan. So don't say, oh yeah, he didn't go to college, but he was successful. I went to the military. So that was the foundation right there. So before the store, I had to discipline myself and figure out who was I, who's Tyrell. I had to learn and figure out who that was before I could make any decision like this. But to me, it's just something that you're proud of. I mean, it doesn't have to be, oh, like you get a whole bunch of cars, you're successful. No, that's not it. Like, I wanted this so bad, and I achieved it, I reached it, and it's successful to me. So I feel like in this aspect of like the knowledge I had, the experience I went through, it's pretty successful. And it's since day one, like from the sneaker group and Joliet just being behind it on this. And I remember when we first started painting the sign, posting like little pictures of like we're about to open a sneaker store, the support from the city is just incredible. Like I never would have imagined that 22-year-old kids would be here, opening something like this. Like we go to the business owners and managers meeting downtown, we're the youngest in the room. And it makes me, I don't know, like I get emotional sometimes because like never in a million years would I've imagined being in a room like that. And that means so much. It means so much to me. So success is just as simple as that. Something that you, I guess, want to achieve, you do it. Like this isn't easy. You guys see the end product, the finished product of this. You guys don't see the late nights. You guys don't see like me spending literally. I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese, so I was spending all my money on shirts that like we were making $2 off of. People don't know that. People just think, oh, Tyrell's making all this money, selling all these shirts. Back in the day, we were in high school. It cost us $18 to make a shirt, and we were selling for $20. But it wasn't because, we need to make the money. It was all about exposure. The thing is, you wore Joliet creamers now. 1,000 people at school see that you got a shirt. And now, it was okay. So we went through that. That's what I'm saying. From 14 to now, we went through so much stuff with, okay, so instead of me paying this guy $18 to make a shirt, I'm going to buy this shirt, and I'm going to make it myself for way less than what I was paying him. So but over the time, you learn that. And that's why it's like, when I fail, it's like, you're just going to see me try again. Because at the end of the day, if I fail, that now I know what not to do for the next time. So it's all about just keep moving forward. Whether it's small steps or big steps, continue to move forward. We go through everything with like champions like that. I'm big on like quality. This is just one of our logos. We have a ton of them, but getting them all in the store is kind of, it's a lot. But we made it where it's like Joliet creamers and then it's all like shoelace. So it's pretty cool. Windbreakers, we got 3 different colors. And we just put our logo on the back, and then we just put a small Joliet creamer. Something simple, but something like pretty dope. One more thing before we get done with this, I want to talk about these customs right. So before I left North Carolina, I had a custom guy, and he made this shoe for me. It's pretty much like our logo on here, and then our slogan, "Rock What You Like." And then on the inside it says "Sneakers in a Dream," and it has like the JK is like that on the back, and then leather laces, and it's just a little hint of something different. I have people come here all the time trying to buy this shoe, but I keep telling them no, I'll never sell a shoe or wear it. It just means like a lot to me, if that makes sense. So yeah.